Well, it looks like the Super Mario Brothers movie that came out not too long ago is going to reach 1 billion in terms of box office revenue before the end of 2023, and yeah, I mean that was a movie that exceeded a lot of people's expectations. I wouldn't say it was necessarily perfect, but at the same time, it was miles ahead of the very first Super Mario Brothers movie that we got in 1993. And here, people didn't think the Sonic 2 movie from last year couldn't be surpassed in popularity or box office revenue. And people also said the same thing about the Detective Pikachu film that came out in 2019 before the Sonic CGI movie came out back in 2020. And honestly, you look at Detective Pikachu from 2019, that was a film that had a budget of 150 mil, and I believe it reached over like 449 mil. So it was roughly shy of 450 mil in the box office. And yeah, I think it was a film that exceeded a lot of people's expectations. Like the way Pikachu was used, the references that was included throughout the movie that only hardcore fans would of the Pokemon series would understand. The comedic element of it. I do feel that Detective Pikachu was a film that's going to go down as probably one of the best video game movies of the teens decade. And a lot of people are wondering whether or not we're going to get a Detective Pikachu 2 anytime in the future. And I believe it was reported sometime last year that Detective Pikachu was, or Detective Pikachu 2 was in development. And basically, I think it's been confirmed that the same company that worked on the first video game in 2016 for Detective Pikachu is going to be involved in the development of Detective Pikachu 2. Because you look at Detective Pikachu from 2019, the companies that produced it were Legendary Pictures and the Pokemon Company, and it was distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. And honestly, I do feel that this movie is like way too popular not to have a sequel anytime in the future. We just have no idea when it's going to be released. Some are speculating that the film is going to be released as early as 2024, but we have no idea because I don't think anything has been officially confirmed. We've seen no trailers or anything like that. But there's been I think around 21 or 22 different Pokemon movies. And a lot of people will go on record and say that Detective Pikachu was probably one of the best. And of course, there are some long-time hardcore fans of the series who like the older movies from the late 90s and the early 2000s, because that's when the Pokemon series was at its hottest. And that's when it seemed to have appealed more to a mainstream audience of people. And I'm not saying that, Pokemon is still not mainstream, because it's still one of the biggest video game franchises of all time. But a lot of people would go on record and say that Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, and even Gen 4 were among the best generations of Pokemon. And it seems like within the past couple of years, Pokemon, despite the fact that the games are still they're still bestsellers for Nintendo based game systems. It's just not what it used to be. I do feel that keeping Pikachu and kind of making him the main character and basically giving him his own movie was a smart idea, and not including Ash Ketchum in the movie was a smart idea as well, because a lot of people really didn't like Ash Ketchum back in the day, and it's baffling as to why he remained the main protagonist of the Pokemon series for so long, but it is what it is. Hopefully we do get to see a Detective Pikachu movie, or the sequel to Detective Pikachu by 2024. If not that, hopefully 2025. It's going to be interesting to see what changes are going to be made and whether or not it would be able to surpass the film from 2019 in terms of box office revenue.